A traditional ruler is murdered alongside 5 others. Months later, Nigeria police says they have finally tracked down one of the men they allege was at the center of the criminal network behind the attack. But there is a dramatic twist. The alleged gang Kingpin did not surrender. Police say he engaged officers in a gun battle and was killed. An AK-47 rifle, 3 magazines and 56 rounds of live ammunition were recovered from the scene. So who was the alleged Kingpin? What exactly happened on the night the monarch was killed? And does this latest operation bring Nigeria investigators closer to answering one of the biggest questions surrounding the case? This is the latest development in the murder investigation involving HRH Eze Paulinus Ekwueme, Ochia of Ochia Kingdom in Imo State. Welcome to African Global Opportunity TV, bringing you verified news and deeper analysis from Nigeria, Africa and around the world. From security and politics to business, infrastructure, energy, agriculture, technology and international affairs. We don't just tell you what happened, we examine why it matters. Let's begin. The story began on April 10, 2026. According to the Imo State Police Command, armed assailants attacked the vehicle carrying the traditional ruler of Ochia Autonomous Community, HRH Eze Barrister Paulinus Ekwueme, along Awara Road in Ojiogu Elumah local government area. Police said attack was reported at approximately 4:30 p.m. The result was devastating. The monarchy and 5 other people were killed. The victim body was subsequently recovered from the scene. Contemporary reports said the attacker also set 2 bodies ablaze, making the incident particularly brutal. April 10, 2026. Location: Asa Awara Road, local government, Ojiogu Elumah. Victim: 6. Monarch Eze Paulinus Ekwueme. The police immediately launched a monarch manhunt. Tactical units were deployed while investigators began working to identify those responsible. At the time, the attackers were not publicly identified, and for months the question remained who was behind the attack. According to the latest statement from Force Headquarters, the investigation eventually produced actionable intelligence. Between August 2 and August 6, operatives of the Police Special Tactics Squad and Force Intelligence Department carried out a series of operations targeting members of a criminal syndicate allegedly linked to the April attack. This is significant because of the investigation appeared to have moved beyond simply identifying individual attackers. Police says investigators were targeting an organized criminal network. April 10, monarch and 5 others killed. April to August, investigation and intelligence gathering. August 2 to 6, special tactics squad operation. August 6, alleged gang leader located. Gun battle, Kingpin killed. AK-47 plus 3 magazine, 56 round recovered. Then came the operation that police says changed the direction of the investigation. In the early hours of August 6, officers located the hideout of the suspected gang leader identified by police as Ojiogu Elumah Martin, also known by the alias Acid. According to the Force Headquarters, police alleged that Martin was a leader of the criminal syndicate connected to the April 10 attack. But when officers arrived, police says the suspect did not surrender. Instead, a gun battle followed. The suspect was wounded during the encounter and subsequently died. Police claim suspected syndicated leader killed during the gun battle. Police says they recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 3 magazine and 56 round of 7.62 mm live ammunition. AK-47 1 magazine 3 live round 56. These are the items police says were recovered at the scene. However, it's important to make one distinction. The police allegation that the deceased suspect was connected to the monarch murder remain an investigative claim. His death means the criminal case against him cannot proceed to trial, making the evidence gathered from the investigation and the testimony of the other suspects particularly important. There is also an important detail that should not be overlooked. Some headlines describe the development as involving 5 suspects arrested, but the police account provided in this report says something more specific. According to the force headquarters, 4 suspects had already been arrested in the connection with the incident. The police also said 2 other suspects had died during the previous encounter with security force. And now the alleged gang leader Ojiogu Elumah Martin has also been killed during the latest operation. So based on the police statement available to us, the safest description, 4 suspects previously arrested, while the alleged Kingpin and 2 others were killed during the separate encounter. Police says other members of the syndicate remain at large. That means the investigation is not over. But there is a bigger question here. Is the killing of alleged gang leader enough to dismantle the network behind the attack? Or could the operation simply remove one of individual while leaving the wider criminal structure intact? Because in Nigeria's security environment, capturing or eliminating individual suspects is only one part of the question. In the second half of this report, we examine what this case tells us about insecurity in southeastern Nigeria and why the security situation has implications far beyond one community. The murder of Ekwueme cannot be viewed entirely in isolation from Nigeria's wider security challenge. Nigeria is dealing with several different forms of insecurity simultaneously, including insurgency in the northeast, banditry and kidnapping in part of the north, and continuing separatist-related and criminal violence in the southeast. The World Bank described insecurity, including separatist agitation in the southeast, as one of the continuing challenges facing Nigeria. Conflict Monitoring Organization (ACLED) has also warned that Nigeria's security crisis is evolving geographically, with mass kidnapping increasingly affects southern part of the country. And that matters because insecurity is no longer simply a question of police statistics. It affects whether people can travel safely, whether business can operate, whether farmers can reach their field, whether investors are willing to commit capital, and whether rural communities can participate fully in economy. Ojiogu Elumah is also strategically important within Imo State. The area combines rural communities, agriculture, and energy-related economic activity that makes security especially important. When roads become unsafe, the consequences can extend beyond individual victims. Farmers may reduce movement, traders may avoid certain routes, transport costs can rise, businesses can increase security expenditure, and investors can demand higher risk premium or choose another location altogether. This is where security becomes an economic issue. Nigeria's broader economic recovery makes this particularly important. The World Bank says Nigeria's economy grew by about 4% in 2025, supported mainly by service, ICT, finance, real estate, agriculture, and construction. But the same institution continue to identify insecurity, infrastructure gap, logistic problem, and weak job creation as structural obstacles to strong and more inclusive growth. The World Bank estimates that about 3.5 million people enter Nigeria's labor force every year. That means security is not simply about protecting today's economic activity. It's also about creating an environment where tomorrow's jobs can be created. 3.5 million people entering Nigeria's labor force annually. For communities across southern Nigeria, the stakes are therefore much bigger than one criminal investigation. The question is whether government can create an environment where ordinary citizens can travel, farm, trade, invest, and build business without fear. According to the police, the next phase is already underway. Investigators are intensifying efforts to locate other fleeing members of the alleged syndicate. They also want to establish the full extent of each suspect involved and recover additional weapons, intelligence, and evidence. The part of the investigation could prove crucial because killing or arresting suspects does not automatically answer every question. Investigators still need to establish who planned the attack, who supplied the weapon, who carried it out. Was the monarch specifically targeted? Were the other victims also targeted? And were the additional people who helped the attacker before or after the incident? Those questions can only be answered through evidence. There is positive element to the latest development. An alleged senior figure in the criminal network has been located. Weapons and ammunition were recovered, according to the police, and several suspects are already in custody. But there is also warning. Police operation can disrupt criminal network, but lasting security requires more than read. It requires intelligence, community cooperation, effective policy, reliable prosecution, forensic investigation, secure transport corridor, and sustained presence after an operation ends. The World Bank has repeatedly emphasized that insecurity, infrastructure constraints, and weak state capacity can undermine Nigeria's abilities to translate economic growth into broader improvement and living standards. So the real test will not simply be whether police can arrest more suspects. It will be whether the community around Ojiogu Elumah become safer over a long time. The murder of Paulinus Ekwueme shocked his community. 6 people lost their lives in the April 10th attack. Months later, investigators say they have made a significant breakthrough. An alleged gang leader, Ojiogu Elumah Martin, known as Acid, was located and killed during the gun battle with police, according to the force headquarters. An AK-47 rifle, 3 magazines, and 56 rounds of ammunition were reportedly recovered. But the story does not end here. Other suspects are still being pursued, but the full circumstances surrounding the attack still need to be established through evidence. And for the people of Ojiogu Elumah, the most important question is perhaps the simplest. Will they be safer now? That is the measure that ultimately matters, because justice is not only about finding those responsible after tragedy, it is also about creating the security condition that prevents the next tragedy from happening. This is African Global Opportunity TV, bringing you facts, explaining the implication, and keeping Africa connected to the world. If you find this report useful, like this video, subscribe to African Global Opportunity TV, share with others, and turn on notification bell. And we want to hear from you. Do you believe operations like this can significantly reduce insecurity in southeastern Nigeria, or is a broader security strategy needed? And most important, which country are you watching from? Drop it in the comment section.